Namam Vishnu Badai Krishna Vistai Bhutale Sate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitya Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachanine Nirvishesha Shunyavati Paskatya Dishatanine Bhaktyavina Paratta Lakshai Kshiptascha Kamali Taranga Madhye Kripamai Tvang Sharanam Prapanam Vindenu Maste Charanala Vindam. As I was traveling around to the different Gaudya Maths as a young devotee, I was surprised that every Math has a different schedule. Some have a Tulsi Artik, some do not, some do Guru Puja, some do not. Some spend all the morning doing one kirtan after the other. Another one is making Harinama Sankirtan around the neighborhood, and so on and on and on and on. Everywhere I found something different. And being a little bit Western-minded, we are always kind of looking for the same copy of everything everywhere, especially German. You know, they're very, like we say, very square mind. No, we to accommodate the flexibility of the Vaishnava freedom. It takes some experience. Now, if we go a little deeper, we find out the devotion in Bengal, the devotion in Orissa, the devotion in Karnataka, the devotion in Punjab. Again, we find influence, different languages, and so. And at one point, I went to my sannyas guru, Srila Bhakti Aloka Paramadvaiti Maharaj, and I asked him, now I'm seeing that your boys, they are singing like 1.5 hour bhajan in the morning. For us in the West, we don't know the meaning of the words, so it's very, very hard to. We just chant Hare Krishna on the few 2-3 songs which we learned. So he said, if you have qualified devotees, you can translate those songs and you can sing in your own language. And we have done that even in Germany, in Hungary. We have done that in Spain, in Italy. In many places, the bhajans, they were started to sing them in our own languages. And the deep meaning and the deep experience of that was a very beautiful experience for us. It was a kind of a new experience. So, of course, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, my beloved Harinam Diksha Guru, he could understand if his movement is going to spread everywhere, there's going to be members of all kinds of countries and languages. The best thing they chant Hare Krishna, so at least they can do something together. Otherwise, you have all little groups everywhere chanting differently. I think there's one shloka by Srila Rupa Goswami, Yena Tena Prakarena Mana Krishna Niveshayat, which says, for and foremost important of all rules and regulations is that we must think of Krishna. We must pray for the mercy of Krishna. The rules and regulations and the sadhana styles, they can be gradually introduced by the spiritual leaders in each region. So for me, this has been a kind of an issue because like when we do the Vishva Vaishnava Raj Sabha meetings in different temples, so we see everywhere everything is a little different, and some people are surprised about that. As a matter of fact, some devotees are scared to go anywhere where there's anything different from the way they learned in their mat. Out of their own insecurity, they cannot embrace wholeheartedly the unity and diversity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And that, of course, it hampers. So in the platform of Vishva Vaishnava Raj Sabha, we feel that gorgeous joy that we are coming together from different missions, and as far as the today, that is one thing, but tomorrow it will be even much more increased, because as there's more and more spiritual masters and more spiritual branches of our mission development, so we sometimes we have to accommodate the possibility of so many things. And for that, it is, for me, it's very important to have these meetings also, because we can ask the senior devotees, we can see, we get the traditional input of some orthodoxy of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. I mean, like, for example, we have been preaching a lot through yoga in South America. Now, preaching through yoga is kind of questionable, because our acharyas have sometimes made commentaries, what's the use of this yoga practice, and what is this, and what you're trying to do, like that. But then we have also found out that many people come to Krishna consciousness through the Hatha Yoga. They're very attracted to that. And if they don't see devotees doing it, then they just go to other yoga school of impersonalists and kind of lose the opportunity. I can give you another example. We call it in South America pre-initiation. I had a very nice conversation with Srila Bhakti Vishnu Maharaj and Srila Avaduta Maharaj, disciple of Bhakti Sundar Govinda Maharaj. We had a very nice discussion about how the modern world requires adapting our practice in the present world to a certain necessity or requirement. So in this way, like the yoga people are becoming very attracted to Bhakti Yoga through being introduced by the inbound yoga system, and also many other type of, you may call them, innovative preaching ideas, innovative things which happen, which also, like, for example, many of our Grihastha devotees, instead of going out and doing some business outside, they learned to make a little yoga school outside, and on one side, they were making their own living this way. On the other side, they can introduce Krishna consciousness in a very nice way. So I personally feel the Vishva Vaishnava Raj Sabha is also a bank of services, of ideas. Just like they have a saying, if you're in a trade, you have to go to a trade show. Why? Because in a trade show, you will find out what others are doing who are in the same trade. And when you see how they're doing, you get new ideas of what you can or should do. Otherwise, maybe the competition will take all the clients away. So I'm saying it's a bit of a mundane example, but at the same time, it is a concern if you're out there and trying to preach Krishna consciousness. I mean, we were also doing another thing. We were having bakeries to maintain the temples. That was amazing, you know. Even big demons started eating Krishna Prasadam bread. I remember the dictator of Chile, then Pinochet, he would ask the devotees to bring fresh Krishna bread to his home every day. So such funny things, I mean, like certain anecdotes you can hear. But the whole thing is that, yes, sadhana, preaching, practice, there's a great variety going on, and being open-minded, having a big heart for all these devotees who do different things in the world. Like if you're preaching now in the COVID times, it has become much complicated. Many people, they cannot have normal meetings, so the Zoom was introduced. Like if we would not have the Zoom talks now, we wouldn't have Vishva Vaishnava Raj Sabha meetings. And Zoom talks were only introduced in our Vaishnava tradition maybe 2 years or 2.5 years, 3 years ago. Before that, nobody knew what was a Zoom talk. And so in this way, I'm very happy and asking for the mercy of those senior devotees that they may guide us, that we how to do this, adapting the modernity and the different systems to the essence of Krishna consciousness, sharing different ideas with each other, and in this way try to push on the movement of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and all the acharyas who are behind all of you who are present here. And I have a personal request to all of you. I think that the majority of the devotees, they simply do not know that these Zoom talks exist. What Madhava Krishna is doing here is absolutely beautiful. With the help, he's really pushing it, but we have to help him. Each one of us should bring for the next Zoom talk 5 more devotees by telling them about the link, making sure they're invited, because it's all personal. People go somewhere to meet the sadhus. Who has met Srila Bhakti Prapantirtha Maharaj personally? Well, whoever met him, he knows he is the real thing, the real association. And there's others, there's amazing personalities who come on and who can also be brought onto this platform. I tell you, when we on this platform have 300 devotees from all over the world participating, then every acharya wants to be with us. They want to share something. They will see this broad-mindedness of the Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha platform. They will appreciate it, because usually you only talk to a certain limited group of people who are just like your disciples, or maybe they're a Hindu crowd, whatever. But in this platform, you actually get to talk and share and learn from devotees of Srila Bhaktinandan Swami Maharaj, of Srila Bhakti Vichar Vishnu Maharaj, the preacher of Orissa, and who also preaches around the world. And whoever acharya is not yet here with us, it's because we have not attracted them. They are with us. In heart, I tell you, every Gaudya acharya is with us, because it's a little bit novel, a little bit new, but they are all with us, because I've spoken with them personally, with each and every one. But when I tell them Zoom call, they go, oh God, what is that? So they have not been introduced to this level, even though today, with a telephone, you can be on the Zoom call. You do not have to have an iPad, computer, or anything. That is the amazing thing of today, with all the possibilities, which nowadays a telephone almost everybody has. So it's a question. I request humbly all of you, bring 5 more people to the next Zoom call, and then we tell the 5 to bring 5 more. And when we have 300 who come to this Zoom talks, looks how many we have today, 45, it's okay. But even on my Sunday chat, I sometimes have 100 people. So, I mean, that is just one mission Sunday chat, you know? And so we should have at least 300 people here. We are serving the community of all the acharyas, all the branches of Gaudiya. And yeah, as I told you, it's just we have to convince them with our love, inviting them, and this will be a great success. Before I was involved in inviting people for 2 times a year World Vaishnava Association meetings in India, usually in Kartik or in Gopurnima, when the people are too busy, they had no time to come. Still there came some disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati came, Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj came, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj came, and Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Maharaj came. I tell you, it was very hard to get them all together to talk, but it worked, because they all believe in Srila Jiva Goswami's concept of Vishwa Vaishnava Raj Sabha. They all believe in it. They all support it intellectually, spiritually. But when it comes to the practical thing, the practical side, well, you have to be introduced. If you are not yet introduced, Or like, of course, what we can also do, if you have another Acharya who wants to say something, record his 5-10 minute speech, bring it to the next meeting and put it up, shared with us. I had Bhaktinandan Swami Maharaj, I have 2 beautiful talks he gave, absolutely spectacular talks, but technically I was not able to put it on with the limited of what I don't know what my technical incapacity, but like that. And because sometimes the acharyas, they don't have time to sit 3 hours and simply sit and listen. So if we can just provide a 5-10 minutes talk of them, some insight. I mean, Srila Tirthamanj gave a long talk today, very beautiful. So in this way, I also thank you all for being here and sharing your association with us. And we try to have simultaneously a website where a Facebook where we can have translations into other languages, because the translation right after that takes a lot of time away from other speakers. So if somebody wants to have a French translation, a Russian translation, I think Russian translation, Spanish translation, that we can have on Facebooks, which are in the backside. And also, all of you are invited to join Veena International, where Janavi and Govinda Maharaj, they're giving lots of collection of nectar. And if you want some of the nectar of your Guru Deva there, just send it to them or ask them to put it on, or how to put it on. There's lots of nectar, I know. And this is a very interesting page. I spoke to Swaminanda Maharaj about it, and he said, wow, so much quality of preaching is in Veena International, such a high quality Vaishnava Katha. And even on specific issues, on specific location, on specific dates. Congratulations, Janavi, for doing that service for all the Gaudya Sampradaya and for all those who make it in Spanish, Russian, or in any other language. Thank you so much. And with all my Dandavat Pranams, Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.